Yes, we're live. And hi, everybody. As you can see, we're having a bit of technical problem here. Yuvraj's internet has been attacked and bombarded by I don't know who. So yeah, I'm glad you all are very excited to talk about dream yoga. I'm going to give Yuvraj another 30 seconds to come back. If he isn't coming back, then I'll have to do this on my own. All right. But luckily, I do have the questions that Yuvraj has prepared. You'll have to forgive him because internet is really bad today. So welcome everybody to Dream Yoga. And it's been a long time since I spoke about the subject. I think I spoke about it 2 years ago or something. Then I did a course very briefly to teach people about Dream Yoga. And yeah, Yuvraj, you're back.
Hey. Hi guys, welcome to
Hey,
Mind Podcast. Hi Harshan, sorry about the technical glitch.
no problem. Shit happens. Let's move on.
Okay, so Ashwin, as today's topic is about dreaming, so I would like to ask you first to define the state of dreaming. What is it exactly?
Okay, so yoga says that. See, even I started talking like some people like yoga says. Yoga doesn't say, but the Upanishads lay out 5 states of consciousness. The dream or swapna is one of them. The other 4 states of consciousness are wakeful consciousness. That is when you're awake, which is called Jagrut. And then there's a state which is between dream and wakefulness, the hypnagogic state. That's where all the hypnosis and subconscious mind suggestion and everything, the whole of NLP is based on that. Neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy. Both these Western practices are based on only one state of consciousness, which is the sushupti, which is in between dream and wakefulness. That's when you're lying in bed, you just woke up, but you haven't really fully woken up. In that time, your subconscious mind is highly suggestible. So whatever you suggest can apparently be taken up by the subconscious mind. But it's not that simple, okay? You can't just suggest whatever you want and it be taken up. There are lots of checks and balances and barriers. So let's not even talk about that today. So the other, how many have I finished? So wakefulness, Jagrut, Nidra. Nidra is said to be a state of consciousness separate by itself, where you're fully unconscious. It's a state of unconsciousness. That's the only time that you're not aware, when you're asleep. And then finally, there's death, Mrityu, which is also a state of consciousness, and you're completely fully aware when you're dead. You're no longer bound by the body, and you're completely free to go anywhere. The consciousness can move. So death is the default disembodied state of consciousness. So you have these 5 states of consciousness, and when somebody is having like multiple personalities or many other such situations, right, where they feel that they are somebody else and all that stuff, and that includes imposter syndrome and all of those kind of mental diseases. So that is another, it's nothing but two consciousness coming together, two separate consciousness coming together. So every consciousness is defined by one thing, that it feels that I exist. Anything that feels that I exist is a consciousness. Okay, a consciousness is certain about one thing: I exist. Then, if you ask what is I, it has no idea about the form of the I. So then it creates a form of the I, and then it attaches to that form. Right now, many people are attached to the form of their body, but still, many more people are attached to the form of the nation. It's an abstract form, right? They're patriots. They are Rashtravadis, and And then you have people who are attached to their car and their laptop just as much as themselves. They probably take better care of the laptop than themselves. And these are also like consciousness trying to attach a form to itself. It says I am, then who's the I? And there, this, and this, and this, and this is all my I. Okay. But in a dream consciousness, for a while you get a relief from this attachment to form, and many weird things happen because of that. For a while you're able to let go of this attachment to form, and even though your sense of I is there, the form is created out of another material, which is called antakarana, inner cause. So the dream is the true yoga. Those who practice dream yoga, it's the true yoga for you to go inside and find the cause of things, which is antakarana. Antakarana, okay. This basically the causative thing from which everything else comes. So in one dream, you can spring forth a whole universe, all within yourself. The consciousness brings it forth because it has to identify with itself, and it has no limits. So it can dream anything. Anything can happen in the dream state. So the dream state is very, very special. All right. But what we call an astral projection is slightly different from a dream state. Even though both are categorized as swapna only in yoga, they're slightly different because in the astral projection, uh, the the creation starts, the mind, whatever it creates, it starts mixing with the universal mind Shakti, and some of it starts to actually form a parallel universe by itself. Okay, so it's a very weird and very strange thing. So instead of projecting yourself into this body, you start projecting yourself into some other place. You start projecting a form into some other place, which is not, it's not an internal world. It's already published. If you want to see the difference, like it's like a publishing an article on a Wikipedia sandbox and then publishing an article for real, where other people, other consciousnesses can interact with it. No other consciousness can interact with the dream, only you. But in astral projection, other consciousnesses can come and interact and can come and be a part of it. So that's the cool part. It suddenly becomes so real, even though it is created by you. It suddenly has other consciousnesses co-creating it. So you can call astral projection co-dreaming.
So it's like another simulation of the real world. Am I getting it right?
Your audio is kind of like damn garbled, and it's like, that
Oh,
voice from hell stuff.
yeah,
You know how to avoid it.
yeah. Let me figure it out.
I
One
mean, it's
second.
not that bad yet, but it could get there.
It just got because I asked question before that time. It was clear.
No, no, it was all the same. Like even when I was speaking, it was like there's something going on in the background, like water going
Oh,
on in the
okay,
background.
okay, okay. Let me fix it.
Yeah. Okay, so while Yuvraj is back, if you have any questions about dreams, audience, why don't you just shoot them at me while we wait for Yuvraj? Anybody got any questions? If anyone has any questions, then let me know. I'm just waiting for Yuvraj to fix his audio. Uh, Here we are. I have a question here that says, "Why do we dream?" You know, Shashank asks. Oh, great. We have questions. Let's go after them. Samir is asking, so dreams are manifestation of desire? No, not really. Dreams, dreams have nothing to do with desire, really. They're just an instability of consciousness. So when your consciousness isn't stable, it isn't clear that in the waking world who it is. It doesn't have a status in the waking world. Uh, Dreams are just excessive nervous activity, trying to make sense of the world, trying to find your place in it, trying to sort yourself out. It's more like repair, and it's just about that. Yeah, it's not really about desire. And how to make sense of my dreams, says Shashank. There's absolutely no need to do this in the universe. You don't have to make sense of your dreams at all. How relieving is that? Yeah. So a lot of people say that they got stuff from the dreams and all that. All that is from astral projection. Yeah, and there's really no need to make sense of your dreams. And half of it doesn't make sense, does it? The little bit of dream that you remember in the morning when you think like doesn't even make sense. What was it? You get so if you have a stable consciousness, you don't dream random stuff. Like even if you do dream, it's going to have some relevance, and you won't have to make sense of it. Okay. More about sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is a state of sushupti where you have suggested that you you can't move. You're suggested to yourself that you can't move. This happens to a lot of to people who suggested that there is some spirit in the house, or suggested in that state in sushupti. They make a suggestion to themselves that this is there, and when they start believing that something is there, then they feel as if something's holding them down, something external is holding them down. But none of it is true. Actually, you don't need that. Why you need this? So anytime you have sleep paralysis, you can just say, all right, bye bye. And you can say, why do I need this? Is this why I came on this earth? To lie paralyzed in my body? If you can take your mind to such places, instead of, I don't know what's going to happen now, I'm stuck over here. When you start panicking, then you'll be stuck there for longer. Eventually, you do come out, right? There's nothing fatal about it. Only thing, you produced a whole lot of cortisol, like you're going to die because of sleep paralysis. So don't worry about it. It's just a suggestion happened during sushupti. You make an opposite suggestion and you'll be out. Okay, so if you want to leave your body consciously, if you got sleep paralysis, say, I want to step out of my body consciously, and just relax, smile, and you'll be out. Okay. Why do we remember some dreams so vividly after waking up? That's because they're not dreams. Dreams will just like melt away, like how dewdrops melt away when the sun comes. Dreams just melt away, like boom. Okay. So if you remember some dreams vividly, it's because it was an astral projection. There were other consciousnesses involved in it, and you did something together. But now, in your waking consciousness, you cannot fit it because the underlying logic of your life doesn't allow you to fix it. There's no magic in your life anymore. So you said, there's no magic in my life anymore. There cannot be anything magical. No, there cannot be anything spiritual. There cannot be anything mystical in my life. So then you're not really integrating that experience with your waking life. But you should. If you have vividly remembered a dream, then you should try to integrate it into your life, because it's not a dream. So relieving to know that. Yeah, the sleep paralysis, I think you're talking about. Okay. I'd love to know more about astral travel. I don't know anything about it. Well, it's not travel as such, it's just projection to another co created world. Okay. And there can be like many worlds that have been co-created with you and somebody else. Yeah. So looks like Yuvraj is back. How's it sound now?
Hi, is this better?
Definitely better.
Okay, awesome.
Definitely much better. I was just answering Smithy. You said I want to know more about astral travel. So astral travel is the part of dreams where you can actually learn something or even understand something, but mainly learn something. There's nothing more to it. So if you want to learn something in half time, and it's better to astral project and then learn it in the astral plane, and then you'll come back with knowledge. Right? That's how I know so many. Have you guys ever wondered how I know so much shit? Have you ever wondered? I can talk about medicine. I can talk pretty much anything under the sun. Why? Why do I know so much? Because of astral projection. Okay, so that's one of the techniques. Denise is going to teach it. If anyone wants to learn, Denise is doing a workshop. Go and attend her workshop. Start with remembering your dreams first, and that's your astral projections. It comes out of there. Okay, so do her 5-day workshop, and after that, I think she has an advanced course. So if you want to do it, do it. She's my best student in astral projection. She's done a lot of astral projections herself. Okay, great. And Shashank is asking, why do we get nightmares? You get nightmares because you're letting out some fears. Basically, what happens is adrenaline as a hormone, it gets stored in the liver, and when that is traveling out and being detoxed and is being conjugated with fiber, and then it's being sent out for elimination. At that time, you can, when as it passes through the intestine, you can get nightmares in the night. All right. So it's just if you stop being a fraidy cat and generating adrenaline so much, you'll not have nightmares anymore. I never have nightmares. You don't need to have it at all. Okay. Believing to know I don't have to make sense of dreams. Okay, okay, good. Because it is nonsense, most of it. You joined Dennis Lotra. Okay, back to the show. Sorry about that. Go on.
Okay. So, there is this field in psychology where they study the dreams in order to find uh,
Hmm.
any, any guidance in order to improve the life.
Tell
Especially,
me if those guys have found anything useful, like anything. People who study dreams, like I know a few of these people. Like they study dreams. Yeah, dreams mean this, and dreams mean that, and that means this, and it's like astrology. You know how astrology is.
yeah,
It absolutely doesn't make sense unless um, unless you do it for yourself. Astrology, because an astrologer cannot make sense of your chart, but you can make sense of your chart. You can interpret it in your own way, and it's the same with dreams. Like you can't be interpreted by an external person. Internal person can say, yeah, this was the shit that I was detoxing from. Yeah, it's about this crap. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, they don't even have to make sense because it's a detox. Dreams, trying to remember them, it's just a detox. So people, it's just noise. It's just like people are trying to make sense of that noise. Why? How does that enhance your life? You can't even go back to that dream, can you? Can you like get out of a dream, go back into it, and start again? Because that noise has passed. The brain has found a way to detox from it, and that noise is over. All right.
okay. So, can you give us an idea about what lucid dreaming is, and how is it any different from the regular dreams that we have?
Lucid dreaming is just a dream in which you realize that you're dreaming. You can do this anytime. You know, and if you've been observant about your life, because most people live their life itself like a dream. They don't know when they're having a dream. They think it's their life because their life is also like that, dreaming, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 99% of people are hearing what I say through a dream of their own, projected through all sorts of blah 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 chatter going on inside, right? And visuals and all sorts of stuff. So they're not really living in a world of senses. They're living in a world of imagination. So when they go to a dream, they don't realize that they're dreaming. But I always know that I'm dreaming because I live in a world of senses all the time. That's what makes sense because I'm living with my senses, right? When I'm feeling things, I'm looking at things, I'm gathering people's emotions, I'm understanding what they're feeling, and I'm using my senses and seeing, smelling, tasting, touching things. But people don't do that for some reason. They want to be dreaming even when they're awake. And if you're doing that, then you're not going to have that much of a difference. You're not going to feel the difference between a dream and your waking state. So that's why you need to practice a lot to be able to feel the difference. But even when you do, it's a lucid dream, and you're like, yeah, I'm dreaming. Okay, I'm detoxing stuff. Okay, cool. Oh, while I'm detoxing stuff, when I interact with it, something happens to it. Ha ha ha. Then you're like a kid who's found a new toy. You'll play with it for some time and you'll realize it has absolutely no use in your life. And then you'll be like, oh, forget it. Might as well not know that I'm dreaming. What's the point? And so all lucid dreaming study is short lived. There's nothing useful that comes out of it in the long term. For the short term, it's pretty entertaining. Because if you intend that you want to fly, then you'll find yourself floating in the dream. When you know that it's
Okay.
a dream.
So when I was researching this topic, I came across questions where people had, I don't know why they asked the question that can lucid dreaming be used to manifest something or can it be used to enhance creativity?
Well, yeah, I guess so. Why not? So you have another tool to play with. It's just a scratch board. So you go in there, you play around, and you say, how complicated can I make this? How simple can I make this? Probably use it for some simple stuff like that. But it's not like you can't do it when you're awake. I mean, people are lucid dreaming even when they're awake. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So they're already lucid dreaming. You might as well just use your creativity there, and then you don't have to learn this extra skill and waste your time. Is it so hard to be creative? I don't think so, man. It's it's
Yeah,
inborn in us. We don't have to put effort to be creative. If you put effort to be creative, then you're not a human being.
yeah. Okay. So are astral projections and dreams different from out of body experiences?
Out of body experiences are nothing but astral projections. They're pretty much the same, but it's limited. You projected yourself outside your body, just outside your body. Instead of into some other world, you projected yourself just outside your body. And it's good to do that for just control, pop out of your body, go around the room, look at things. Wherever you think you want to be, you can be there. And yeah, it's a cool thing to do. So above my head, I have a mirror, which I've painted Nut, the goddess of the night. And every time when I astral project, I just go through that mirror and I reach wherever I want to reach. She takes me where I need to reach. So you can, in astral projections, the fun is not in having an out of body, popping around your room, floating and saying, wee, I don't have weight. I mean, that wears off after a while. The fun is in meeting ancient conscious beings who have some amazing stuff, perspectives about what Shakti is and what Shiva is. And you can understand it from them. You can probably experience it from them. And that's quite an amazing trip. If you start understanding the nature of the world, and then you get some siddhis, you can develop a lot of yoga siddhis by just astral projection.
Okay. Okay. Can it be used to treat or cure diseases in one side? Astral projection.
Yeah, why not? Easily. You can cure diseases easily with astral projection. Even not only yours, even other people's diseases. You can go and cure
Oh,
them.
okay.
Buddha used to do it bad. Buddha used to do this shit. He's very famous for it.
Okay,
Jesus used to do it too.
one weird question. Someone asked that, will you die if you die during a astral projection?
You
Or
can't die in an astral projection. You can't kill consciousness. Consciousness never dies. It only goes to sleep once in a while. The closest that a consciousness can do is go to sleep. That's it. And beings usually do. They go to sleep sometimes because they're just tired of being conscious. They're able to reject consciousness, completely reject it, then be unconscious. That is nidra. That is that is what even the gods do. Isn't
Nidra is
Vishnu
same.
like sleeping, right?
Yeah.
Because he's tired of being conscious, he's had enough, so he goes to sleep. Yeah, sorry, what?
It's the same as the sleep that we do, the state of Nidra.
Yeah. Even if God sleep, it's the same sleep that we do. Yeah, we're not much different from God in consciousness. The only difference is that um, we feel that I am, and God feels that only I am. We feel that I am and others are. So it's not just I am, it's like others are as well. So that's the difference between our consciousness and God consciousness.
Okay. So how can someone go about learning to astral travel or lucid dream?
This is a step-by-step procedure which my student Denise is going to teach you. It starts by recalling your dreams, then waking up, commanding yourself to become conscious in your dreams, then waking up, commanding yourself to become conscious in your dreams, and in the dream, commanding yourself to astral project. So that's one way to astral project. That's called dream-induced astral projection. So it starts from a dream and then you go out. And then otherwise, you can have an astral projection which is wakefulness induced, and there are many techniques for that. But you need to remove all obstacles and fears that are there karmically. You just remove all that karma. So attending my karma visarjana workshop is also a very good idea, so that you learn to deal with the koshas and the four parts of the mind. You understand what is prana. You understand what is manas. You understand what is the vijnanamaya kosha. And then you understand what is Anandamaya Kosha. And when you clear all the obstacles to astral projection in these, then you put in a logic that you really need to astral project every night, then you start astral projecting every night. And then you'll just, I mean, it's so easy. It's not a big deal. It's all software. You rewrite the software, then you just keep going. So there's certain procedures to do this. It's better you learn it not from a from a broadcast, better learn it from a teacher, because then you'll have to report every day, and then you'll get feedback, and then you'll understand what's going on. Otherwise, there's nobody to support you. A lot of people who manage to pop out of body for one time, and they don't know what to do next because they don't have a living teacher to tell them what to do next.
Okay. So sometimes some people have this experience that if someone in their family or someone they know has died, immediately they'll have a dream with that person.
Hmm.
So is there any significance to those interactions?
Yeah, because the other person is trying to contact them. They could have contacted them in their imagination while they were just sitting. They didn't do that. So then the other person's consciousness is trying really hard to like say goodbye and whatever, or tell them where the keys to the safe are, or what, I don't know whatever the hell they forgot to say before they died. Or tell them I loved you very much. I didn't say it when I was alive, but I want to say it now. Some crap. Okay. So they just want to convey some crap. After the exam is over, they want to write an answer. So then that's why they then come in the dream. So when this person is dreaming, they could somehow push themselves inside. You're trying to communicate. So after you wake up from such a dream, it's better you sit and say, "Yeah, grandmother, what do you actually want?" And then you'll get the answers, what she actually wanted to tell you.
Okay.
That's what I did when my granny died, and she told me a whole lot of shit that she couldn't say when she was alive.
So can we use astral travel to talk to living people also, like telepathically?
Yeah,
Go and
you
meet
don't
them.
need to astral travel to talk to living people. You can do it in a dream. You sit
Oh,
right there in your imagination, you can do it. You can just come back. You don't have to astral project. You don't need to waste an astral projection on that. Living people have precious little good information to tell you. You've got to learn it from beings who are not of this earth, or maybe who are of this earth but not of the same dimension. They live in another dimension and another parallel world created by themselves. It's got something to tell you. Beings of higher vibration than you, somebody with more knowledge than you, then you allow that thing to flow. What's the point going to another living being who's in the same consciousness as you? What are you going to talk about? You're going to talk about the same things you would talk about if you visited them or if you just called them on the phone. Nothing much more. It's a different matter if you're going to heal them. And that also you can do in your imagination. You don't have to go there to heal them. I'm going to teach healing in the Karma Visarjana workshop, which is coming up.
okay. Okay. I think we are at the end of the podcast.
Namrata was asking exactly what I was saying, right? Why can't you directly talk to living people, Yuvraj? Just pick up the bloody phone, man. Shweta is saying, do we naturally remember all astral projections? Or is it possible that we may forget a few if we are projected in different places? No, you always remember astral projections when you wake up because it really happened. It's not a dream. Okay. Yeah, I think we're out of time. It's good for today. You're going to continue this, right?
Yes, we'll have a second part as well.
Okay, we're having a second part, guys. You don't have to ask all your questions now. So show up again next week. There's going to be part two. Meanwhile, watch all this and see if you can understand a little more from what I've already talked. Maybe you want to watch it again. There may be some messages you've missed. All right. Have a good night, everyone. And thank you for watching the podcast. And don't be lazy to share, okay? Can't understand
Thank
how
you.
you can come and watch something so amazing and not share it, right? Share it. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Ashwin.